Okay, can I have a motion to return from executive session? Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Hooten. Here. Chapman. Gill.
Yes.
Hampton. Weaguer. Present. Williams.
Present.
Executive session item number 2. Tim?
Pursuant to Section 307B1, Title 25 Oklahoma Statutes, council convened an executive session to discuss the vacant position of city attorney. That conversation occurred, and it's my understanding we have a motion.
Mayor, City Council, I'd like to direct the make a motion to direct city manager to negotiate with Jari Askins for employment as the interim city attorney as an independent contractor until such time as permanent replacement can be found. Tim Wilson will revert back to his prior position as our deputy city attorney.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Williams.
Yes.
Weaguer. Yes. Hampton.
Yes.
Gill.
Yes.
Chapman. Yes. Hooten.
Here. Yes.
And the motion carries. And before we move on, I want to read a statement about the action just taken by the council and to give the citizens a little more insight. As our search continues for a permanent city attorney, I'm pleased to share that the Honorable Jari Askins will be joining the City of Lawton as interim city attorney. Ms. Askins brings an extraordinary record of public service, having served as a lawyer, judge, state representative, lieutenant governor, as director of the Administrative Office of the Courts for the state of Oklahoma, and most recently at the helm as president of Cameron University during their transition period. Her experience, integrity, and steady leadership will be invaluable to the city during this transition period. I want to take a moment to express my sincere appreciation to Tim Wilson, who has served as acting city attorney with professionalism, grace, and dedication. Tim has been a part of our legal team for 25 years and has led the department honorably through this challenging, short-staffed period. He's a true team player, always focused on what's best for the city and the citizens that we serve. We're fortunate to have an exceptional legal team, individuals who work together daily to provide sound guidance and uphold the highest standards of municipal law. It truly takes everyone's teamwork and commitment to carry the city through these periods of transition. And I'm grateful for their continued service and professionalism. And with that, if I can have a motion.
So moved. To adjourn.
Got a motion to adjourn and a second. Please call the roll.
Hooten. Yes. Chapman. Yes. Gill.
Yes.
Hampton.
Yes.
Weaguer. Yes. Williams.
Yes.
We stand adjourned.
Now let's pivot a little bit, going back to the special meeting that you had this past week with the City Council. You had 2 items on the agenda. The first item passed, I believe it was 6-0. But the second item, y'all went into executive session and discussed a little bit and came out, and a proposal was made to have the city manager contact former Lieutenant Governor Jari Askins about being the interim city attorney. Can you tell us a little bit about what that happened in that process and why we are picking her?
Well, that's a great question. As you know, Jari Askins is a very highly thought of individual, and she's held public office for a number of years, retired recently as a director of administrator of courts, and I may not have said that exactly right, what her title was. Then after she retired there, she was named as the interim president of Cameron University. Of course, she's an attorney, been a judge, director of courts, as well as lieutenant governor. I missed that, and representative. And so during the time that Jari was the president at Cameron, I would meet with her, as I did always before the former president, pretty much monthly for breakfast and just discuss different things and how we can work together. And in the process, I brought up the possibility, and Jari thought about it, and she's interested. So that was the process that we have to get moving in that direction. I'm very excited about Jari Askins coming to the city of Lawton.
So do we have a timeline of when she'll be on board with the city of Lawton?
We expect to have that implemented by November 3rd.
Okay, wonderful. Mr. Good afternoon, Chris. Michael, thank you for joining us today. We just concluded the Streets, Bridges, and Building Development Council meeting, and we had a couple follow-up questions if you have time. The first thing is, since we're kind of new to this type of podcast, can you tell us a little bit about yourselves? Chris, let's start with you. Your name is Chris Serrano, and you work for WSB. What do you do for us?
So I am a consulting engineer for the city of Lawton. My firm does full-service civil engineering. We do energy development, environmental energies, transportation systems, wastewater, water systems, pretty much any sort of civil engineering that you can think of.
Okay, and what's your background in education?
So my education is actually, I have a Bachelor of Science in Finance from Arizona University. I have a master's degree in finance from the same university. I have several certifications from the Civil Engineering Institute, and I've also been in this industry for about 30 years.
Okay, good deal. Michael, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So Michael Watchers, I'm the Director of Public Works for the City of Lawton. Educational background, bachelor's in criminal justice and a master's degree in engineering management. As far as the city is concerned, we have 5 divisions that fall under Public Works. We have stormwater maintenance, deals with all of our stormwater infrastructure. We have our streets and traffic control, which is all of our streets and traffic control. We have solid waste, which includes the landfill and collection. We have electronics maintenance, which is our traffic signals, E911, emergency communications infrastructure, emergency vehicle installation, and then we also have our equipment management division, which handles all of our equipment maintenance, handles all of our vehicle purchasing, handles our vehicle efficiencies.
Okay. In today's meeting that is going to be that took place today, you mentioned a term, TIA, Chris, and it stands for Traffic Impact Analysis. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is and how you use it as an engineer?
Sure. So a traffic impact analysis is essentially a traffic study that is provided to the city, in this case the city of Lawton, by any developer that is looking to build either a residential or commercial development within the city limits. And what that study is supposed to provide is guidance as to what traffic volumes the city can anticipate based on that development, and how, points of entry into a particular transportation network, and also systems of ingress and egress from that transportation network, being a road.
Okay, so from a standpoint, that's done by the developer. Michael, does the city do any ongoing impact analysis on transportation that my viewers might be interested in?
Yeah, we do studies as needed or as desired. Whenever we feel that there's a problem, or whenever we get reports of a problem, we'll go out there and perform a traffic study on that particular, wherever that problem is. The problems can vary. It can be anywhere from protected left turns to just people speeding through areas, or just the number of vehicle counts that we have in an area. So the analysis varies, and it just depends on what the problem is and what we're looking for.
Now, is that something you do in-house, or would that be something that you would consult with Chris and have his firm do?
It would depend on the complexity. If it's very complicated, like for example, we just hired out WSB to do a Gore Blvd traffic analysis. And they did that because we're talking multiple intersections over 6 miles of road. We want to make sure that the traffic's flowing, so we hired them out to do that one. But if we're talking, like I said, small local streets, or if it's just one intersection, one point of intersection, then we'll normally handle that in-house.
Okay. From your standpoint, Chris, when you get those contracts from the city of Lawton, how long does it take for you to set that up and before you start getting data that you can give to the city so that they can make their decisions?
Well, that really is determined by how complex the problem is, and what the study limits are. As Michael mentioned, if it's a single intersection, that could be done within just a couple of weeks. If we're looking about an entire corridor that expands roughly 6 linear miles, that can take several months because there's data collection that has to occur in the field, and we have to analyze the data. Then it's coming up with what we consider to be a level of service, which is how we're going to improve those intersections or that entire network. So it can be complex. So it can take from a couple of weeks to several months.
Okay, so given that it could be complex, those things tend to be very expensive. What would something like the Gore Blvd project you just mentioned cost the taxpayers of Lawton?
Well, it'll depend on the complexity of the project itself. For Gore Blvd, I believe it was about $250,000 for that particular study.
Okay, now did that go out for bids, or how did that process work?
So when it comes to engineering, any kind of engineering, we have a master service agreement. WSB is one of several contractors that we have master service agreements with. And our purchasing policy does not require for engineering firms for it to go out for bid. So if council, it'll still go through up council, and council will still end up having to approve any kind of MSAs or task orders on those MSAs. So, but it does not have to go through competitive bidding at least not in this particular case.
Okay. Are there a number of other projects that you use WSB for?
They manage the mill and overlay, the 105 or pavement rehabilitation program. Currently the 107 and 25 program, they'll be managing and overseeing that program when it's going in. They're also overseeing 38th Street and the future Lee Boulevard reconstruction as well.
Okay. Now, just a standard last question. I have a standard podcast called On the Record. Would either one of you be interested in coming back and sitting down and being on that podcast in the future?
For me, it would have to go through Caitlin, which is our communications director, and she would be the ultimate one that makes that decision.
Awesome. Okay. And for Chris?
Unless the city has any objections, no, we can definitely do that.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.